As investigators work to get to the bottom of what caused this plane to go down, we want to bring in an expert in aviation. That's Mike Slack with Slack Davis. He's a managing partner and co-founder of the firm, specializing in aviation law and representing clients in cases over aviation accidents, catastrophes. We'll also note for our audience, he's a licensed pilot and former NASA aerospace engineer. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Glad to be with you.
First, we know investigators, as we just said, are just beginning their work to figure out what happened here. But explain for us what goes into an investigation like this.
Well, the first thing that happens is the accident scene is secured, as your reporter described. The lead agency for investigating accidents like this is the National Transportation Safety Board. However, they may dispatch the Federal Aviation Administration to the scene to actually get the investigation underway. You have a Flight Standards District office in San Antonio, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody from that office isn't at the scene in anticipation of the National Transportation Safety Board representative arriving later. So after that, then the NTSB gathers factual information. They'll eventually publish a report, factual report, and then draw their own conclusions as to what contributed to the accident.
We know that severe thunderstorms didn't move through that area through central Texas overnight. It was severe. Those specific challenges, what goes into a pilot flying in that kind of weather? And is it just solely at that pilot's judgment to do so?
Absolutely. And I've been able to look at and reconstruct the flight track from the time the airplane left River Falls Airport south of Amarillo all the way through the termination of the flight. Exactly as your reporter was describing about today's weather, that's what was going on last night. The flight departed about 9 p.m. The question arises, why 9 p.m.? Well, that's really late to be going on a flight like this. So if we're going to speculate, we should not speculate, but a question the investigators are going to ask is, did the pilot defer the takeoff from Amarillo while watching weather in the vicinity of the destination and try to pick a time to go? This flight got into trouble at some point. It appears that it was moving through some convective weather. Convective simply means that these are cells that have rapidly moving air up and down. Not the kind of conditions you want to fly in. And around 11 p.m., this aircraft got into a vertical ascent, probably faster than the aircraft could climb itself, and then a dramatic descent. So that ascent followed by descent. The descent rate on the published track data, and again, this is not confirmed data, it's not been checked by it. This is through a data source that we have, shows a 5,000 foot a minute descent at one point. That kind of descent rate would conceivably be large enough to fail the aircraft structure or certainly induce a loss of control. But all of the data points to a vertical descent to impact from about 11 p.m. until the radar data terminates. This would not be a pleasant situation on board the aircraft. This is a significant descent and rate of descent, and it's right in the middle of convective weather, according to the data I'm looking at.
Mike, that is heartbreaking to hear described. We appreciate you looking in that data and giving folks a picture of what may have occurred here. We'll also note for our audience, authorities have confirmed the plane was a Cessna 421C, a small plane for context. So talk about those conditions with a small aircraft. This is very different from a crash, say a commercial airline crash.
Well, first of all, this aircraft is not designed to fly as high as airline aircraft, and so it essentially has to deal with the weather. That is, at altitudes where this weather is most serious and more concerning to the pilot and the occupants on board. But this particular aircraft is a relatively old aircraft. This is a 1977 Cessna 421. It's a twin engine. It was loaded to near capacity with fuel and passengers when you look at the performance guidelines for the aircraft. So it was a situation where you had an older aircraft, probably not retrofitted with modern avionics and modern weather. And so it just points to a situation where this was not the right time and not the right night to be flying from Amarillo into the hill country.
You mentioned technology. What can the newest technology do? Is there some technology available to these smaller airplanes to help in stopping a situation like this from happening?
Yeah, aircraft of the type that I fly have computerized panels instead of the traditional what we call steam gauges, the analog gauges. And these panels display weather just like you would get on your computer screen at your home or office. And it's dynamically updated every few minutes. Uh, and so the pilot has a good grasp of not only the radar images, which show the convective activity, but also other data. So you can see wind speeds at altitude. You can gather lots of information during the course of your flight. And I've experienced situations where I was planning a flight and the weather deteriorated rapidly at my destination, and having access to that type of sophisticated weather data is very, very important, and it enabled me to redirect my flight, change to an alternate landing location, and avoid the weather. So, yeah, there are aircraft flying today that are single engine, twin engine, general aviation aircraft that have very sophisticated onboard data and weather systems that put them at the same level of information that the airlines have access to. And that's, most pilots now are trying to graduate or migrate to that type of technology if they can afford it.
Mike, we know how quickly weather can change here in Texas, particularly if you're coming from one place in the state to another, as it appears this situation, what was happening in this situation. So what role does air traffic control play during severe weather in helping inform some of these decisions?
Well, air traffic control supports the pilot. The pilot may ask for information related to weather, but ultimately it's up to the pilot to gather the weather during both before and during the course of the flight. Air traffic control may be able to give advice concerning changing direction of the aircraft's track to avoid weather. But at the end of the day, if the concentration of convective weather is such that once the airplane enters it, uh, then the air traffic controller, there's very little the air traffic controller can do to help the pilot. The pilot can get into trouble very quickly in the convective weather environment, particularly severe weather.
I want to touch a little bit more on that and help me understand this, Mike. When you are a pilot and you're going through this severe weather as you described, do you slow the plane down? What do you do when you find yourself in that kind of situation?
The first thing you do is you get out of it.
How do you do
Uh,
that?
Well, if your reverse course is free of, in other words, if you just enter the area and you recognize the predicament, you reverse course and get out of it. But if you can't reverse course and get out of it, you look for the safest possible place to exit. Probably talking with air traffic control if they can give you feedback. But the pilot also needs to understand before they enter this area, if it gets hot in this area, where do I get out? Okay, you have to have that exit plan in mind. And the particular example I gave you of my flight, I didn't get far enough into the weather to for the door to close behind me. You don't want the door to close behind you. That is, you don't want another cell to move behind the aircraft so that when you reverse course, you're right back in the same predicament. So you have to stay ahead of the airplane. You have to stay ahead of the weather, and you have to think about this and be deliberate about it. But the safest place to correct the situation is before you take off with a plane load of people and fuel, and you're heading in the direction of known convective weather at night, which adds an additional challenge. So the safest place to exit the predicament would have been at the beginning of the flight and not taking the flight.
Mike, we've talked a lot about what may have happened here or some of the technical elements, but I know you have represented clients in dozens, if not hundreds, of cases involving catastrophes. I just want to note that this news is so gut-wrenching for so many people to hear. 5 people have died. Anything you can say just about the impact maybe more broadly on when a crash like this happens, on the people who are involved, the people who are left behind. I know they are your clients, they are folks you represent in your practice.
Oh, it's devastating on families. I mean, you know, the first contact we have with families is usually in the aftermath of a tragedy like this, and explaining to them that you know, usually we don't know we don't have all the answers, but we will gather the answers. And the other part of it, what we try to do is, if it's possible, say we will do what we can to achieve some type of result that either prevents or mitigates something like this happening. But when you have a situation like this and you have a pilot, and let's say the pilot's a family member, and I've dealt with whole families that have been wiped out, pilot plus family members wiped out in an accident like this. There's nothing you can do looking forward other than take care of the remaining family members and hope that you can help them, guide them through this tragic result. I've seen things like this happen with the airlines. Delta 191, DFW crashed, killed a bunch of people in convective weather. American 1420 crashed outside of Little Rock in convective weather. And when you see it done at that level with the airlines, it's not just these smaller aircraft. This flight in convective weather has killed people in not only general aviation accidents, but air ambulance operations, charter operations, and airline operations. It's deadly at all levels of aviation.
Mike Slack with Slack Davis. I'm sure we could keep you here all day with questions, but we appreciate your insight, especially on such an early stage in this investigation and with such heartbreaking news. But thank you for your expertise today. We really appreciate it.
Happy to be with you. Thank you.